Have you ever felt like something invisible was stopping you from moving forward? Not a real wall, not a real chain, just something inside you whispering, "Don't try, you can't." Arav once came across a site that explained this feeling better than any book ever could. He was wandering through the village fair, watching performers, vendors, and children racing around with sweets in their hands, when his eyes landed on something unusual. A massive figure stood quietly in the distance. People walked past it casually, but Arav couldn't take his eyes away. The sheer size of the creature was enough to shake the ground beneath it. Its legs were like pillars, its strength so obvious that even a single push from it could topple carts, tents, maybe even buildings. And yet it wasn't moving. Arav stepped closer, puzzled. What was keeping this giant so still? His eyes scanned for iron chains, for steel cages, for thick bars that could hold such power in place. But there were none. Instead, he noticed something that made him blink in disbelief. Around the creature's leg was tied a simple rope, thin, ordinary, the kind of rope that couldn't hold even a stubborn goat for long. The other end was fastened to a short wooden stake, barely dug into the soil. Arav's mind raced. This doesn't make sense. This creature could snap the rope in an instant. Why is it just standing there? Why doesn't it even try? Finally, unable to resist, Arav turned to the trainer nearby and asked, "Why doesn't it break free? It's strong enough to escape 100 ropes like this." The trainer looked at Arav for a moment, then at the creature, and said softly, "When it was young, we tied it with the same rope. Back then, it wasn't strong enough to escape. It pulled, it struggled, it fought. Day after day, it tried, day after day. It failed. The rope didn't just hold its leg, it began to hold its mind, whispering that no matter how hard it fought, escape was impossible. Eventually, it gave up." He sighed. "Now it's grown. Now it's powerful enough to uproot trees. But in its mind, the rope is still unbreakable. So it never even tries." Arav stood frozen. The truth hit him harder than he expected. This mighty creature wasn't being held back by the rope. It was being held back by its memory. And suddenly, the image of the rope was no longer just around the elephant's leg. It was around Arav's own heart. He remembered the exam he failed once, and the voice that told him, "You're not smart enough." The cricket trial he lost, after which he whispered to himself, "You'll never make it." The time he froze on stage and decided, "Public speaking is not for me." Each of these failures had become ropes, not real, not physical, but strong enough to convince him not to try again. Just like the elephant, he had accepted a false limit. And that is when Arav understood. Most of us are stronger than we believe. We are not trapped by ropes. We are trapped by old doubts, by memories of failure, by voices that once told us we weren't enough. But here's the truth. We are not the same people we were back then. We've grown, we've learned, we've become stronger. The rope is only as strong as the belief that it cannot be broken. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember the elephant. Pull once more, try again. You might just discover that what's been holding you back was never real at all. It was only in your mind. But the beautiful thing about life is this: the rope that once stopped you can be broken the moment you choose to try again. Growth has already given you the strength. All that's missing is the courage to believe it. If this story touched you, don't let it end here. Stories like this remind us that life's greatest lessons aren't written in textbooks. They're hidden in the moments we often overlook. Subscribe, and let's keep discovering them together. Because sometimes, just one story can change the way we live forever.